Is love a decision or natural?
If you had to eat 30 pieces of something, what would you eat? Life is spiritual. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
So it's a pastor in East Africa and his wife, and they talk about mostly they talk about all kinds of things really, but his wife is the granddaughter of a witch. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Same Vein Podcast, episode 28.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
It is 28.
All right, episode 28. We're almost to 30. What did we say we were doing for 30? I can't remember.
I don't know. We're not doing that. I forgot what it was. It was something. I think it was
Wasn't
something.
it dyeing our hair, maybe?
No, that was
that?
like 100, I think.
No, 100 was tattoos. Maybe it was 50
I
was
don't
dyeing our
remember.
hair.
Yeah.
Maybe for a 30, we'll just have a special guest.
Oh, yeah. We'll
Buddy of
special
ours.
guest it up. Wait, is it 28 or is it 29? I think it's 28.
You'll see.
You'll see the text.
On the screen. What'd you do this past week, dude? How you been?
It's only been 4 days since the last one.
But they don't know that.
I know. But yeah, I haven't really done anything. I did. The one interesting thing I've done this week is take someone to the hospital.
Yeah, you were telling me about that earlier today. So this guy, what did he hit his head?
Yeah, so I'll walk you through it. I watched the security footage afterwards, bro. But all right, so this dude was bending down. We have these spools with hoses on them,
Yeah.
And he was bending down to put another hose on it, and he hit his chin on the little spool thing, and it gashed pretty bad.
Okay.
So he got up and went to the bathroom and stuff, and he put a Band-Aid on it and everything. He's like, I don't know if I should file an incident.
Yeah, you should file an incident.
Yeah, well, he ended up filing one. So the guy comes over, and he's talking to him, writing everything, and then they go and look where he did it. Mm-hmm. And the guy asks him, why were you bending down? Were you trying to hide from someone or something?
What? So they're trying to cage this dude into doing some shady shit.
Yeah, kind of. But the guy that hit his chin looked at him and then passed out from that.
That is the ultimate. You're okay, so this guy's trying to fuck me over. You just pass.
I know. It's very, very
the
sketch.
ultimate,
very sketch. So this guy calls me over, and he's the only high up manager. So
was he an assistant manager or something?
Yeah, so he can't leave the building or anything.
So it was.
So he gets me. I don't know why they didn't call the ambulance or something.
Yeah, he's hey, drive him to the hospital. Is that what you did?
Yeah, I think it was something for workman's comp. I have to be a witness.
Oh,
so he
okay.
can't forge stuff. But so here I am sitting in the waiting room with this dude who I've only talked to once.
Yeah,
and it's just
Is he still
awkward
passed
silence.
out?
No, he's all right, but yeah, we're not really talking at all. And I'm just
Okay.
I'm yeah, it's probably nothing. It's probably just a freak incident or something, trying to make him feel all right.
I would not have done that.
Well, anyways,
I'd have been why'd you pass out?
press him. I'm you fake it.
So he's he'd say some stupid shit I just panicked or I lost too much blood. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. Huh, you a beta, bro.
I would have been listen, I'm not gonna tell him. So just be honest.
Yeah, you faking. So we go back. We're only sitting there for 20 minutes, and we get called into the office.
Were you in our towns or did you go the next town over?
We're in our town.
Okay.
Then we sit in that office for or not the office, the room for
the room.
almost 2 hours waiting for a doctor. I'm dude, thank God this isn't well, we didn't know it was wasn't life threatening. But they took their sweet time.
Yeah, damn.
And finally they saw him. They barely did anything either. They're well, the gash is okay.
Mm-hmm.
You probably... He's sometimes people will get overheated. Dude didn't check any vitals or anything. I think they checked his heart rate and his blood pressure.
That's so funny.
So then we go back.
They're yeah, so you're faking.
Yeah. So we go back, and
Yeah.
the manager that made me take him told me right when I got back, yeah, I'm pretty sure he faked it.
Yeah.
And I'm dude, you had me go sit with him for 3
You
hours.
just took 4 hours out of my day for a guy faking it.
Yeah. And then we watched the footage back, and it looked pretty fake.
The passing out.
Oh, yeah.
That's so funny.
He's he slowly lowers himself down. I'm okay, this is But yeah, so
I'm trying to still
that's
figure out
something I
how he
did.
like busted his chin so bad. I'm trying to think of like where he is to have done that.
I'll tell you. I don't want to.
Can you just tell me after? Damn, no, that is crazy.
So yeah,
I would have hated that.
It was pretty sucky. And then my phone died while in the hospital, so I was just sitting there,
dude.
Yeah.
So you're just that's a nightmare.
I'm trying to make small talk. I'm like, so this ever happened before?
Like, so I think that's gonna be a cool scar.
Yeah. So how do you like passing out? Pretty fun, huh? Cool story to tell your kids.
That's so funny. Oh man, no one's ever passed out at my job, but we have this like system where like if something happens, you call like a first responder who is like trained to do like first aid, and then they come, and then you just like you're totally hands off after that. A guy did fill out an incident report the other day. So in the like the building, the warehouse that I work in, one side of it has these really tall machines, and there's these small little kind of alleyways in between them, and they have hoses running on the floor. So people will take what's called like an angle iron, which is just like a piece of metal, kind of like over it.
Gotcha.
This guy was trying to walk through that and tripped over the angle iron and landed like elbow first on the floor.
Ooh.
He got like a pressure cut, like exploded open his elbow.
Oh God.
So he's bleeding like
Everywhere.
like profusely, like a lot.
Jeez.
So he goes to the bathroom, washes it off,
Uh-huh.
gets paper towels and holds it on there, and then instead of finding a team lead to like fill out an incident and probably go get like medical treatment, he gets on his forklift and drives around the entire plant
What the heck?
bleeding
Everywhere.
Literally there for like a whole day there was like a blood trail.
Jeez.
through
Do
the
y'all
plant.
have like hazard stuff?
Yeah, so that's like a bloodborne pathogen
say,
incident.
that's
So
what we
like
have.
you had to like totally steer clear of it.
Yeah.
Like couldn't touch it, obviously.
Yeah, we have like hazard suits we're supposed to put on if there's blood.
Yeah,
anywhere.
and then I guess he just lost too much blood or had soaked through all of his fucking clothes or something
passed
because he was
out?
bleeding on himself. No.
Bro, how
He went and
dumb
found
you have to be?
I know. He went and found the team lead and was like, "Hey, I don't know what to do about this." And the team lead's like, "What the fuck?"
He's like, when did it happen? He's like, 7 hours ago.
Literally, he's like, "When did this happen?" He's like, "Probably over an hour ago."
Idiot.
So he's like, "Come here!" Just like Jesus Christ. He gets the first aid kit, pulls out like these big gauze pads and like wraps it and everything, and then he goes to the hospital and gets like stitches.
Dang.
I cannot imagine like if I like run into something and hit my head too hard, I'm like going and finding a team lead and being like, I'm fucked up.
Have you ever filed a report or anything?
I had to so the way my job does incident reports is any risk to like safety is
I
an
get that.
incident. So I was driving a forklift picking up pallets full of like big boxes, and they were stacked too high. The bottom one, so you know how pallets have like the big studs.
Yeah.
One side like totally disintegrated.
Fell off.
Like, well, it just was like gone, like powder, like poof.
Dang.
And so the whole thing tips like one way and just falls everywhere. So I was the only person out there to loading trailers.
Uh-huh.
So no one was like at risk. I was on the forklift,
But you still
but
had
I
to
still
file.
had to fill one out.
Yeah,
and then
they-
you know what pisses me off the most?
What?
Our department manager has to review footage on any incident report like that. He has never driven a forklift. He's not trained on one or anything. And he
Was he like,
comes
you
and-
were driving it wrong?
He comes and fucking tells me. He's like, "Hey, when you're turning like that, just slow down." I was like, "Suck my dick, dude."
Yeah. Dude, I get so we put pallets up like on the we have like this thing in the back room that are like giant steel
Yeah,
beams.
big like racks or whatever.
And we have pallets up there. They're probably 20 feet, maybe higher.
Dang, that's high.
Maybe not higher than 20. It's about 20 feet. And I use like this little walkie stacker thing, and I picked one up, and when I was pulling it down the back, so it was you're not supposed to put like a pallet on a pallet, unless it's like super wrapped well. But it was like a pallet on a pallet
On an empty pallet, so it's like 2 pallets high.
Yeah.
Okay.
and this the pallet on the pallet I guess was overhanging on the back. So when I
So
started
you're
dropping
pulling
it,
and it's just tipping over.
well, while I started dropping it, it hit the back end of the rail and the whole thing fell. Luckily, I was the only one there, but it fell like 20 feet. and then it ended up being something like super light.
That would have freaked me out.
Yeah.
I would have like ran.
And I was like, and then another day, my direct like manager, he dropped a big pallet of like this glass stuff, and I think it was like a few $1,000s worth of.
Destroyed it all.
Yeah.
Damn. And he's probably like, keep this between you and me.
Yeah, that's how you get your walkie stacker wings right there. Drop a pallet.
There you go. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. There's just so much driving around there. I'm surprised there hasn't been like someone killed yet. Because there have been so many.
Spoken into existence.
I hope not. God, I hope not. There have been so many close calls though. Like almost every near miss. That's like a near miss is when it's like it could have. Yeah, like it could have ended very badly and potentially endangered someone, but like everything turned out fine.
Oh, you have a lot of those happen?
Yeah. Not like a lot. Not an unreasonable
like
amount.
Monthly though, you have a few.
Yeah. Oh, weekly. but you got to remember, this place operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
How many employees do you have?
Over 1,000, I think.
Over dang.
So like, and a bunch of them are driving forklifts. You know, so it'll be like. We have these racks that hold giant rolls of plastic. Mm-hmm. Well, there's nothing to secure the plastic if it's not banded. And we don't have like a banding gun to do that.
Gotcha.
So if we put the plastic on there, they only have these like kind of flushed out walls to keep them from rolling off of the rack.
Ah.
So one incident report that happened was a guy was picking one up. So these things also go like 20 feet in the air. Uh-huh. He's picking one up from that high. One roll was like heavier than the other, so
like tip or something.
And there's no like bottom. The forks don't go in between like two things to secure it. It's just on top.
Oh yeah.
So the whole thing tips to the side.
Dang, bro.
Falls 20 feet. These rolls are like
giant.
800 pounds.
Wait, do y'all have like a automatic wrapper, or do you have to manually?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have an.
But we can't wrap these racks. They're like metal frame racks.
Gotcha.
So these things are like 800 pounds.
Jeez.
And it falls, bounces, and like rolls away.
Wait, did you see it?
No, I wasn't. I'm not usually there for the incidents because everyone that I work with like knows what they're doing.
Nice. Yeah, I've had a few close calls.
Yeah, I've never had any close calls where I'm like genuinely rattled, but like it could be scary. That where I was rattled, where it wasn't just me that was like at risk. You know what I mean? I've never like almost hurt somebody else.
Yeah, we yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say. There's definitely been some times where it's been sketch.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just like kind of part of it. Like accidents happen.
Yeah, anytime you're working with like heavy machinery.
Yeah, for sure.
You get effed. Anyways,
I'm going on a trip to Texas in a week. For a week.
It's gonna be fun. Where y'all going? Multiple places?
We're going down to Galveston to see the beach and the ocean.
That's gonna be sick.
We're coming back up through Houston for a day, then going to San Antonio for like 2 days, and then going to Dallas for 2 days, and then going home.
You're gonna hit that Silver Dollar City, or not Silver Dollar? What is it called?
I don't know. What is it called?
Six Flags. That's what it's called.
No,
Dang.
probably not.
Well, sucks to be you.
Also, I was listening to this podcast. So this is maybe kind of interesting to you. It's called Life is Spiritual. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
So it's a pastor in East Africa and his wife, and they talk about like mostly they talk about all kinds of things really, but his wife is the granddaughter of a witch, like a voodoo.
Dang.
Like
Are they
like
African
magic
themselves?
woman. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And she fled from Uganda or somewhere and went to the U.S. and then met her husband, and they're back.
Oh, that's cool.
So she talks all this crazy shit about like the magic her grandma could do and like cursing people and how like aliens aren't real, but when we say
demons.
Yes.
I've had people.
She's like, when we say we see aliens, they're actually like demons in the flesh.
Yeah, I've heard people say that. I don't know. I don't think there's a 100% way to know that. But yeah, dude, I have heard of like crazy stories.
Also, okay, you would know this better than I would. Is there actually an instance in the Bible anywhere where a demon is like physical other than possessing someone?
Not really. No, you have like there's one where Jesus casts out like, and the translation is kind of messed up. or like people don't know if it was a demon named Legion or if it was a legion of demons in a guy. But
I remember that. Yeah,
he cast them out into pigs,
yeah.
and then they like run off a cliff. But I don't think you hear about a physical.
I was thinking, I'm like, there's never like, and there I saw the demon or something.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's almost always them inside someone.
Yeah, so that's why whenever I hear that whole like, oh, demons in the flesh or whatever, I'm like, I've never heard of that happening. I mean, even back when they were apparently like everywhere, you know.
It's got to be, if they're like fallen angels, it's got to be the same thing as like an angel, where I don't think they have like. I think they could like take on forms, you know. I don't know.
Well, angels showed themselves to like multiple people.
But even then, they had like different, like they had like an actual form, or at least it describes in like Revelation and stuff.
Yeah,
like the wheel within wheels and stuff.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's a physical form.
Oh yeah.
But demons never get a description, and maybe that's intentional because it's like you don't want to.
There might be
bring the attention to them.
There might be a spot somewhere where I'm not.
Yeah, I'm no theologist. You know, like I'm not a Bible expert.
Yeah.
But that'd be a good question for your dad, because I guarantee you he would know.
Oh yeah, he should.
He better.
He should, man.
That's funny. But anyway, the podcast that I listen to, this guy asked me to listen to it for some reason. So I'm like, okay, sure. Well, they talk about all these symbols that you see like in the world.
Maybe the dude thinks you're like a witch or something.
I don't know. I think he just thinks I'm ignorant. But he talks about all these. They talk about all these symbols and like what they mean. So they talk about like Baphomet's cross. We'll put a picture up of whatever I'm talking about. Do you know what that is?
Mm-mm.
So it's like the symbol of the Freemasons, where it's like
it's like a triangle thing.
And crosses coming out.
Yeah, I thought it was like a triangle.
No,
not the Freemason thing.
Here, I'll look it up. I guess the Freemasons use it a lot. It's different than Satan's cross.
Oh, it's like that.
Oh, no, that's Satan's cross.
Leviathan. I'm just seeing an upside down cross, bro.
Freemason cross.
Dude, I've been getting these TikToks that are like, did you know the upside down cross is actually St. Peter's cross?
Like this thing.
Oh, I've never
seen
it's
like crosses coming out of crosses. They call it in that thing Baphomet's cross, and then they talk about like who Baphomet is and like his connections to like Hollywood and stuff.
Freemason. Yeah, also, I don't think it. Oh, this is what I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Like the little triangle thing.
Oh yeah, I have seen that.
That's like dude. The amount of like, I don't want to be like a. Actually, I do. The amount of like elite and like rich people that have like that sign on certain things.
Yeah, they also talk about this thing called the Black Mass. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
So I guess that's like
a TV show.
It's like I guess it's just like the opposite of Catholic Mass. So it's like worship of the devil.
I have heard of that.
And like super satanic. And I guess this dude, the pastor in this talks like he's seen some shit. Because he's like, they'll kidnap children and like scare them until their adrenaline's pumping, and then they'll kill them to harvest the adrenaline-filled blood. And then they'll use that blood to stay young. Apparently.
I don't know about that, but I mean, I ain't saying it's not real. That makes sense.
Yeah, they talk about all kinds of stuff.
You know what I've heard has like a ton of like witchcraft and voodoo is Haiti.
Yes,
that's
I've
like
heard
the number one place. I had
Haitian voodoo and stuff.
My dad has a really close friend that went on like a missions trip there, and he was like, "Yeah, if you do not want to be out at night, like there's some weird freaky stuff that goes on."
Wow, this chick I used to work with told me this story about how she was on a mission trip in Haiti, and she met this guy who was like a trucker, but he was missing a leg, so he like technically wasn't allowed to drive. But when he got in his truck, his leg was back. Because he said he like made a deal with the devil to be able to keep driving.
Dude, you could make any deal, and you make a deal so you can keep driving, bro.
I don't know, dude. Maybe he just didn't want to be missing a leg. I don't know. Yeah, I've heard.
Devil, please let me drive.
Yeah, voodoo's very interesting. There's the series called Dark Tourism, where this guy will take like he'll go to really macabre and like strange tourist attractions, and one of them is like he goes to a voodoo festival and watches them like cleanse spirits and give blessings and stuff.
Yeah,
dude, it's like it's pretty crazy. Like this chick like kills a bird, like a dove or something, and like sprinkles its blood all over this guy.
Dang.
And all these things. And
I've heard it's not like people think it's like satanic, but I think it's actually like a Catholic, like voodoo started from Catholic or Catholicism.
I don't know how it started, but
let me look that up.
It's definitely not satanic.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
they don't acknowledge any like special demons or anything. They just like call on spirits or whatever.
What's her name, Madame Laveau or whatever? Oh, so this is just for New Orleans voodoo. But it is known as Voodoo Catholicism. It is a religion connected to nature, spirits, and ancestors.
Interesting. Back down in New Orleans is where they had like the voodoo queens and stuff.
Yeah, that's Madame Laveau or whatever. Yeah. Dude, I've been to her grave, and they have people still to this day will go there and
like honor it.
Well, they leave. I forgot what they leave, but it's like a specific thing to get like blessed from her.
Oh, really?
Stuff.
Wow.
I've seen her grave, dude.
That stuff like that makes me think that she really could do magic. Because it's like, I mean, you just gotta think, like, dude, you had to have done some crazy shit for people hundreds of years later, people to still be like honoring your grave and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting podcast. It's like 2 hours long, and literally the whole time they just talk about all these symbols. A lot of them are cults that were created in like the 1800s that don't exist anymore. So I'm like, I don't know why this is important.
What's it called again?
Life is Spiritual. And then I would look up Erica documentary. Erica's his wife. I would look up Erica documentary 12A.
Do they have like a normal podcast, or is it just
they like do podcast series with different people?
Oh, gotcha.
So like the pastor's wife Erica, there's like a 20-part series with her about all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that interests me, dude. I've always wanted to be like, I just wanted to see something unexplainable.
Me too. They have one that's interesting about the Egyptian gods and like
that's cool.
Their correlation with like Christianity or other like world religions and stuff. It's like debunking the Egyptian gods or whatever.
Oh, man, them Egyptians, man, they got gods out there.
Damn Egyptians,
dude. I heard something wild. I heard that NASA. Oh wait, no. I think you told me that, or I saw it from that. You know that Billy Carson guy?
Yeah.
I watched after that podcast we did. I watched a like an interview with him, and he was like, "Did you know NASA actually has the rights to the pyramid or whatever, to the main room?"
No, they don't.
I know. I was like, dude, this is just
they don't.
Making random stuff up. How does that even make any sense?
How does a foreign body buy the rights to a nation's greatest treasure and then just own it?
No, Billy Carson, bro. Speaking from his rear.
Oh man, I truly hope that people from this go and listen to him, just to hear how insane he sounds.
He's a guy where it's like, if you speak with confidence, stupid people will think you're telling the truth.
For real. He's like a cult leader.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, man, they came from the Nanakai or whatever.
Yeah, they came from the Pleiades star system, and everyone's like, literally never heard the word Pleiades before.
And they're like, he's right. Yeah.
God, that's so funny.
Oh, anyways, you got a question?
So mine's pretty like kind of deep and serious. So we can either do mine first and then yours, or we can do yours first.
Let's do yours first.
Okay. What is a past trauma that you have or can easily identify? That you've like recognized you have?
Past trauma?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question, dude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think here. You go first if you have.
A big one for me is whenever I had that really bad car crash in the rain.
Oh yeah.
Anytime I drive in the rain now, like I'm constantly thinking of that. And then if I skid at all, it's like I freeze and like my blood pressure goes up and I'm breathing super fast and like I get like a physical reaction out of that.
Dang.
And so that one's recent, so that one's easy to be like, oh, that one.
Oh yeah.
But
I think I have, honestly, from, I don't know where it stems from, but I have like a super, if I fail like at anything,
Are you like really hard on yourself? Yeah.
I think
I'm
it
the
came.
same way.
I think it came from my driver's test because I failed like the first 2 times.
Oh, okay.
And I started freaking out, and it took me. I don't know if you remember, but it took me like a year or 2 after I failed to get it. And now every single time I have like, whether it's like a test for like, work or whatever. I'm like, dude, if I fail this,
I'm kind of the same way. Like if I feel like I should be able to do something, and then it's harder than I thought.
Yeah.
I'm like really hard on myself about it.
That's the first time I ever like that I can remember.
Yeah.
Ever experienced like actual anxiety. Like there would be some nights where I would be up at night and be like, dude, I'm never gonna be able to drive.
My license. Yeah. Wow, man. Yeah, that's crazy. I thought you would say something about like religious trauma, because I feel like that's always a thing for. I feel like that's always a thing for like.
That's like a trend now, bro. People are like,
households.
My religious traumas.
Well, I'm saying for you because, I mean, cut this out or tell me if I'm going too far with this, but like every one of your siblings like moved out before they were married and like all that stuff, and like don't really go to church except for your one sister whose husband is a pastor. So I feel like probably all of them have experiences like that where they're like, because of
they do,
because of like the household I was in or whatever, this is how I feel.
I honestly,
so I just figured you might kind of also have that.
Yeah, I honestly think I might cut this out, but I think a lot of that comes from not the religious part, but I think my parents used to be less, not neglect or not. I think my dad used to be more neglectful
of his kids.
Yeah, so like some of my brothers and like my sister and stuff, they don't really do, they do stuff with them, but they're always like, I think they think religion is bad because of the way he's acted with it sometimes.
Because of how he showed it to them, type of thing. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
But
I don't think your dad's like a bad man by any means.
Yeah, I don't think he is either. But he did used to be a lot more like, kind of, I don't want to say absent, just not really like do stuff. Yeah, and it kind of came to me having to take on some of his hobbies in order for him to like
make time for you.
Yeah. And like none of my other brothers or sisters really did that, I don't think.
Well, I feel like sometimes when you have beliefs like that, like those really strong belief systems like Christianity, like your dad may, I don't know, I don't want to like speak for him here, but maybe he thought like my job is to be like a leader and like a teacher and a provider type of thing, and then your mom is the one who like spends time with you guys and is like emotional and things like that.
I'd say that's pretty.
So then it gets to this point where everyone's like, well, dude, you barely like spend time with us, talk to us, like look at us or whatever.
Yeah, and it's weird too because they would like, I wouldn't say stuff bad about him, but they'd be like, yeah, he's not, what would they say? I don't know. They just, it's almost like they never really like talk to him on. I feel like I kind of have like almost a friendly connection with my dad.
And all of them are like strictly parent and kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like they never really saw like his friendly side. Like, dude, my he's got like super good humor and stuff.
Yeah, he's funny.
And like hearing some of his stories about like back when he was like into drugs and stuff is like super interesting and stuff I didn't even know about until like a few years ago. That's kind of the joy I think of like getting closer to your parents is like especially when you get older. Like when I was younger, I used to like not care at all when I spent time with my dad. I was like whatever, like I've got better things to do. Like it was almost like a thing of like you're just my dad, you know? Yeah.
But like the older I get, the more I'm like I really want to get to know this guy. And like that's like the coolest part I think is like all these stories. You just find out things about them as like a person.
I know, and it's like when you're a kid, of course,
you find out like similarities and like total differences.
Yeah. And we came from a point where it's like, since he is a pastor, he didn't do anything wrong, and then once you start learning about some of the stuff he's like done wrong and like some of his past stuff,
he's like really had a journey.
Oh, yeah, and it like normalizes him a lot more.
Yeah, it's a real shame. I feel like, and I bet he didn't even know like it was going on. Probably.
Yeah.
Like because I feel like when you're in that situation where you're like, well, he doesn't really like pay attention to me, doesn't really go out of his way to spend time with me, you don't want to talk to him and be like, hey, why don't you do anything with us?
Yeah.
So he was probably like, love my kids, love my job.
They still love him and everything. I just think that's like some of the reason they're not really
because they only come to visit. He only sees them like a few times a year.
Yeah, like once a year or so.
None of them are very like don't practice religion very much.
Yeah, I think only one that really does is my sister. No,
is your older sister.
But that's gonna happen no matter what too. It's like you could be the perfect example of like a Christian and stuff, and that's not instantly gonna make your kids.
Yeah, I think you just gotta understand that like. I think if you raise your kids right, like if you want your kids to be smart and think for themselves, you can't expect them to just totally follow in your footsteps for like the same things you believe or anything.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not a like believing Christian or anything, but if I were, I would still probably never like force my daughter to go to church or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely wish I got... I don't want to say I grew up... I kind of wish I didn't go to church until later.
Yeah.
Because it would have been more, like, organic.
Yeah, it would have been more like your choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of just, like, growing up with it.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that. Sorry, we're kind of making this about you a little bit.
That's all right.
Because also your next oldest brother, the one that's like closest to you, he just like super abruptly left. I remember.
Yeah, well, he
as soon as he got a chance, I felt like he was gone.
He was definitely. My dad's always been, if you're living in my house, you got to go to church, and that's what his dad did with him when he was like a super druggy and stuff.
I see.
He was like, I don't care if you're not a Christian, but if you're living under my roof, you have to go to church.
Okay. And your older brother just wasn't really a fan of that?
Yeah, well, I think he was definitely not a Christian. I don't know. I don't want to, like...
make accusations.
It'd be better if he was talking. I don't know if he ever was. But I think now he's not.
Mm-hmm.
Which, it's his choice.
I just remember thinking that because he's like, yeah, I'm moving in like 2 weeks or whatever. I'm like, seriously? Like as soon as he got a chance, he was gone.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was kind of like, wow.
I think it's been good for him, honestly, because he's changed a ton.
Yeah.
Since moving,
it's been a while since I've seen him, but last time I did see him, he was doing good.
Yeah.
Got himself a girlfriend. Got himself a job.
Got himself some. I don't know, something else.
A car, maybe.
Nah, he didn't have a car.
You don't really need one where he is. Anyway.
He doesn't need no car, bro. Anyways.
Yeah. Interesting question.
Ready for my?
Yeah.
Mine's a little more lighthearted. If you won the lottery, what would be your next moves outside of hiring an accountant? Like, what would be the first thing you bought?
I'd probably retire all the people closest to me. So, like, how big's the pot here?
Let's look at Mega Millions. We'll just go off that what that is right now. Currently, let me see. Currently, it is $306 million.
Okay, so
cash option will be 140. So let's just say it's 140.
Okay, so I would probably retire like you and your fiance.
Let's go.
My parents, my sister.
Wait, dude, I just like how you put me and my fiance above your parents, bro. That's wild.
One of my parents is already retired, and
dude, retire him times 2, dude.
There's no ranking here. It's just like all the people that I would choose. So yeah, it'd probably be you guys, my parents, my sister, my wife. Obviously, my wife's basically already retired.
What the retired?
Not like retired, but anyway. And then probably like. I'd probably take it to an investor, and I would be like,
make him invest it for you.
I would be like, take all of this money and invest it in whatever you think is best. I just want the dividends and everything, and you can get a cut of like, I don't know, 20% or whatever.
20%. God dang, bro.
And then I would say
retire that fella too.
I would say every 3 months, take this sum of money in that portfolio and reinvest it in something else, and just keep doing that. And then I would say I never want to look at my bank account. I never want to. I just want to swipe my card and buy whatever I want.
What would be your first big purchase?
Probably a house. A house or like
You're like a new gaming setup. 4K ultra monitor.
there you go. A house. Yeah, probably a house, honestly. A house and then like a bigger car for like more kids.
Dude, you should get a Rolls Royce.
No. the Cullinan or whatever, the one that's like 0
Phantom?
decibels inside.
Oh, I don't think I've
I
seen
think it's
that
called
one.
a Rolls Royce Cullinan or something like that. But
They have
it's
one called the Phantom. It's like
the
pure
Phantom.
black.
Well, it's so insulated on the inside.
can't hear anything?
That you can't hear anything. No road noise.
Okay,
at
wait.
all.
Can anyone hear inside?
I think so.
Bro, it's a road trip, bro.
Yeah. So probably that.
Dang. That's good.
What
That's
about
a
you?
good plan. I think first off, I'm gonna buy a boat. Second off, I'll probably buy a house. I've always had this idea where
That's crazy because I literally said I would set you up for life, and you're like, I'd buy a boat.
no, I'd give
Nah, don't backtrack now.
dude, I'd give probably everyone I know like a crap ton of money.
Okay.
If it's 140 million, yeah, I'd definitely give you like 10 million at least.
I'd take 10 million. I'd take 10 milli.
Yeah, I'd buy
I'm
my
100 though.
What? I only have 140. You're getting 10 or you're getting nothing. You little spoiled brat.
We're partners, dude. I should be getting half.
Dude, I'd buy like 50 cameras so we could have angles everywhere. Just like a nose angle.
That's so funny.
I've always had this idea where I'd want. This is kind of weird.
Okay.
I've gotten bullied by my fiance a little bit,
Okay.
but I always wanted to go to like a super poor country, and then like, I don't know how the
Like,
legality
I
of
always wanted
this.
to go to the super poor country, buy a shit ton of property,
No.
raise the rent.
No, I would want to get like a bunch of super poor people and then like buy houses for them, like either here in America or like where they're at.
That's
you know?
interesting. What?
Nothing. You
Ooh.
have. You said it was weird.
Yeah, he's making you out to look like the bad guy right now.
She just admitted. She just admitted. She said it was weird.
That's funny, dude.
And then, dude, I'd probably start like a. I don't know. I'd probably just like start hiring architects to like build some cool stuff or something.
I would also definitely have to own like a large, like thousands
Farm.
of acres,
That's what I
large
want.
patch of land.
Oh, yeah.
Not for a farm, just to like do stuff on. I'd like build a racetrack and like
A roller coaster.
and like a bunker and shit.
On a doomsday prep. Dude,
Just be like-
I built a rocket and go to
Just be like, hey,
the
come
moon.
out to so and so, and you'd get there, and I'd have like
Come out
a
to Seth Ranch.
a racetrack with like a bunch of supercars on it.
Dude, I'd
and
buy
shit
like a
that.
ton of guns, bro. Like, that'd be sick.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't have like a huge house, but
Just like $1 million house, you know?
I don't even know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever seen the house tours of like millionaires or billionaires where they have
Here's
like
my thing about those is like I'm looking at this place and I'm like, dude, it's just you.
yeah, it also doesn't feel like comfortable. It's like everything's like pure white.
Everything's
It's like
white
marble.
and like hard.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this random couch in this hallway, and it looks like it's made of fucking plastic.
Yeah, or the stairs are like pointy and like sharp.
Yeah.
Like what the?
But here's my thing: is I'm like, dude, it's just you. I'm like, you have a like 12,000 square foot mansion, and it's just you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, imagine waking up at night to go get a snack, and it takes you like 5 minutes
You
to
have
walk
to take
to
an
the
elevator.
kitchen.
You're like I'm taking the escalator up
Yeah,
to
it's
my
like, oh,
kitchen room.
It's like, oh, I gotta walk to my kitchen, and it's like 7 minutes later, you're in your by that point, I'd be fully awake. I wouldn't be making a midnight snack. I'd be making second dinner.
Dude, you could probably have like 4 kitchens though, so you just have a kitchen in your room.
But that's not what a bedroom's for.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I don't want a kitchen in my
You know
bedroom.
what I'm doing? I'm definitely making a bunch of secret rooms in my house, like a bookcase.
Oh,
One behind
yeah?
a bookcase. I'll
Yeah.
make like a bat layer.
Like a bat cave. Yeah, that's
Or
sick.
I said bat layer. Bat layer.
You love Batman
I
too.
know.
That's crazy.
We'll make a bat dungeon. I'll definitely get like a waterfall.
Make a bat hole.
throw some little. I don't know.
I would also definitely buy like some exotic animals.
Really? Like what?
Yeah.
A gorilla or something?
Oh no. It
Tiger?
would just be like, no. I'd probably just have like
I want to get a monkey.
no.
What?
They would have to be animals that aren't smart enough to like harm me. If that makes sense.
So like a.
Like if I feel like a monkey or something, if I did just slightly the wrong thing,
Like,
they would like rip my
kill
face
you?
off. So it can't be an animal like that.
What would it be? Like a sloth?
A sloth would be sick. Sloth would be cool. I think I would have like
Rhino.
a zebra,
I think rhinos are pretty docile, honestly.
some
right?
like emus or something.
Dang, bro. You're going to get killed by a emu.
My aunt used to have an emu. He was a bastard.
Really? You
Yeah,
ever
they're mean.
get that pet him at all?
No, because they were mean. Every time I came up to him, he tried to peck me. If punching him in the head counts as petting, then I did do that. Because, dude, I'm like maybe 12, and I'm walking around, and I walk up, and I'm literally just watching him.
But their spurs are like that big, right?
Yeah. And I'm just watching him, and then he comes up and like starts running, and like goes out to peck me. So I just like slapped his head.
That's funny.
They have red eyes.
Dang. Yeah, they're pretty much dinosaurs, dude.
They look crazy.
Dude, I'd buy like a.
Maybe I'd buy like a serval or something, which are like small
the
jungle
cat,
cats.
yeah.
Because like I've heard they're actually trainable and they're nice.
Those are the ones that like.
Or a caracal or whatever.
I think those hiss even when, like, instead of meowing, they hiss.
Really?
So like they'll be hungry and they'll just be like, yeah.
That's interesting. Or like a caracal, which is like another kind of jungle cat.
Yeah.
Have you seen them catch birds?
Mm-mm.
It's crazy.
Oh, I know they jump like
They
12
can jump
feet.
like 15 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Like they'll be sitting under because on this like wherever they're from, I don't know, the trees aren't super tall, so there'll be a bird like near the top of this tree, and it'll go to fly out, and that caracal will like run up the trunk a little bit and jump out and catch it.
Dang.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I'd definitely get like some giant aquariums and get some banging fish.
Get like a shark,
dude, a humpback whale.
alligator, snapping turtle, bro.
Dang. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Sick.
what we're saying is we would be like the weirdest.
We'd be like the Lion King part 2.
We would be the weirdest, most eccentric millionaires ever.
Dude, I'm only wearing cheetah print from now on. I'm gonna
All
get
of my-
tattoos on my body that just make me a cheetah.
All of my clothes have tassels or feathers.
I'm gonna be dressed like a jester from 1400s.
I'm always wearing top hats.
like, yeah, you have a monocle. You just have 2 monocles instead of glasses. You have 2 monocles, and you're like, ding, ding.
Like Mr. Moneybags.
Oh, good
So like, hold on, let me get a like have to adjust both of them.
You have like a cane,
Oh,
but you don't even
God.
walk with it. You just like hold it.
I'm wearing a suit and it's like 90 degrees outside.
Yeah.
I've got like the coattails.
You're like, it is exquisitely
I
hot.
say.
You're like, madam.
Yeah, I would also definitely have to invest in like stuff. Like I
Yeah.
would probably be like go to an investor and be like, hey, whatever. But I'd probably also buy like lots of
Real estate?
property. Yeah.
Dude, if you invest like $5 million into like a dividend stock or whatever, you could get, I think the return's like 5% if you get a
Yeah.
good one, which is a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. That's why I said I was like, I never want to look at my bank account. I never want you guys to tell me what's going on, like how much money I
whatever
have
you
or
do.
anything. I'm like, I'm literally just gonna like live my life, buy stuff, and eventually, if I'm like out of money, then I just will be out of money.
Yeah. Only problem with being so rich you don't have to worry about it is I feel like you kind of lose a sense of purpose. 'Cause you're like,
Think so?
now I'm not working for money, so you probably quit your job.
I think you just find a different one. So now you're like your
A
whole thing
job
about
for
like
fun.
well, your whole thing about going to a poor country and like building houses or whatever, like that's your
that'll
purpose,
be your purpose.
now. You know,
Yeah.
like you find ways to still fulfill yourself, but it's just on a way bigger scale now.
Yeah, true.
Or you just get really good at video games.
Yeah, I'll buy like scripts. I don't even have to.
You're like, I'm just gonna
I'll
buy
pay
Ubisoft so that I can hack.
Yeah, I'll pay someone to play as me, and then I'll to play.
That's funny.
All right, let's hit that pop culture.
All right, you go first on this one.
All right, in the news, we got
news.
Drake versus Kung Fu Kenny Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
back at it, dude.
Isn't Drake's real name like Goofy as fuck?
It's like Aubrey, something, Aubrey Graham or something.
Damn.
Yeah. Like, why'd you pick Drake? That's why I picked Drake, bro. Aubrey.
Yeah, for real though.
You know he started off in Degrassi
Really?
as like a disabled kid. Did you know that?
So what you're telling me is Drake can act.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Let me see his.
That is so funny.
I think he was the kid in the wheelchair. Aubrey Drake Graham. That's crazy, dude.
That is crazy.
But yeah, they've been slinging like songs, like so
Firing
much.
shots, dude.
I think in the last week,
Like
there's
Hello
been like
Graham,
6.
I listened to that. It's insane. Like some of the shit he talks about in that is crazy.
Yeah, I was looking it up. I guess this thing like goes back all the way to 2012.
So they've been beefing for a while.
Yeah, like it wasn't super serious.
I feel like diss tracks can only be taken so seriously.
Yeah, I know. He's like, your shoes are goofy. Your face is too. you flirt with minors. Gooby goo.
that is a bar right there, dude. That's so funny. Because I'm sitting here like, dude, if you genuinely like hate this guy and you're not trying to fight him or like argue, you're like wait until the 17th and then you drop a fucking song.
And it's, dude, there's so much of those songs have
singing
filler
a
in
song
them.
about how much you don't like this guy.
Yeah. If you actually read the lyrics, only like maybe 10% of it is like real stuff. And then
Yeah,
the
a
other
lot of it's like
90.
set up for the punchline.
Oh, yeah. He's like, yeah, wearing blue. You go outside and hunt little kids out of the
blue. I don't know. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, dude. I mean, Hello Graham was like
you like it?
Every verse like hit harder.
Dude, my
because it's just so much crazy shit. Like those accusations are wild.
Yeah, honestly the better one is.
I feel like Drake's. I didn't listen to Drake's, but I feel like his would have just been like, "You're washed up. Your music's trash.
Yeah,
your wife cheated on you." And then he's like, "You touched little babies, and no one knows about your secret children, and your mom raised a fuck up." And
he's like, "You're a sucky dad. I hate everything you do." I saw a video where this guy was like, you are kind of an abuser," like Drake talking to Kendrick, and then Kendrick's like, "I hate the way you walk. I hate the way you talk. I hate your face."
Literally though. Like he snapped, dude. He like went off.
Oh my god.
That is just so funny though. Like imagine that's like you're in high school, like you're just talking shit, and he's like, boy, fuck your hairline or whatever, and the other guy's like,
yeah, your mom hates you.
Your mom doesn't love you, and she cheats on your dad, yeah. And you're just like,
yeah, dude, I was talking about your clothes. But the funny part is, originally it was J. Cole and Drake. Like they made a song together.
Yeah, J. Cole got featured on it or whatever.
Yeah, and then J. Cole like backed out after.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I think he thought it was like all fun and games and broke him back.
Serious.
Yeah. He's like, forgive me, dude. This is not what I wanted to do.
I like J. Cole.
Yeah, I like J. Cole too. Yeah. Honestly, I like all of, like, I know it's Drake is kind of like iffy.
He's just like,
but I think he has some bangers.
He's just like lover boy vibes.
Yeah, cringe lord.
Drake is like that guy who will be texting his girl and like kicking his feet up on the bed.
Yeah,
like that's Drake.
Drake is the guy that would be holding his snake. Just dude, that's why he started the diss. He's like, he can't make fun of my penis size.
And then Kendrick's like that guy who like will come to pick you up and like fight your dad.
Oh yeah. Or like he'll come and pick you up like with a limousine, like with cops escorting you. I feel like he's the type to do that.
Yeah, definitely interesting beef though. How did it start? Do you know how it started? Because you said this has been a while.
Yeah. So the first one was
Drake kicked it off, didn't he?
The new so I guess Kendrick kind of had like small beef with him like years ago.
Rapper beef is the funniest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, and then
like all of you are millionaires. What beef?
I don't know.
There's no way I could be sitting in like my fucking penthouse with a Lamborghini out front and like just making millions of dollars just by existing, and then some guy's like, we have beef. I'd be like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm too rich for beef.
Yeah, I don't. It's really. I mean, there is some serious stuff in it, like if accusations are real.
If they're real, yeah. Because Kendrick says some crazy stuff.
Yeah, and I guess Kendrick was accused of beating his wife or something.
Yeah.
But, all of that is kind of doesn't hold any power without
proof.
Let's be honest, Drake is really close with some minors, though, like Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
And then I saw another...
He was texting her before she was of age.
I think she was 16 or 17.
Yeah. And some girl in Canada came out and was like, yeah, I was dating Drake when I was like 17.
Yeah.
And he's like in his 30s. I don't know what the age of consent in Canada is, though.
I don't either, but still, dude, 30-year-old dating, that's what? Even
an
18-year-old?
I don't know how you can be a whole-ass adult with like bills and paying
dating
taxes.
a 16-year-old.
And then dating a literal child.
Yeah. Even like...
Who like has only ever done a part-time job.
Yeah. Even if she was of age, dude, if he's like double her age, it's still kind of weird.
It's weird. It is weird. Whatever though, dude. I don't want to diss track on me. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, he might hit you. He's like, Seth, you wear goofy hats. You smell like goofy rats. He's like, I hate the way you look. Goofy glasses. I don't know. This is just me dissing you now.
I know. I'm sat over here, so I'm like, so you don't like my hat?
Nah.
And you don't like my glasses?
Nah, it wasn't. No, dude. None of that was real, bro.
Uh-huh.
You're chill.
Wasn't real.
You looking good. You look good, man.
Yeah, give it a couple weeks.
All right. I'm going to wake up tomorrow.
Dropping the track.
You're going to post something on my timeline on Facebook.
Oh, God. That's
like,
so funny.
John, you're stupid. Let's get
There
into
have to be a verse in there about how I carry this podcast.
Carry this podcast? That's crazy.
Is it?
It's crazy, bro.
Is it?
It is.
Damn. Okay.
You're weak, bro. I'm starting it now.
All right. Leave a comment.
Leave a comment on who's
your favorite host.
Yeah, we'll start a host battle. This is not gonna be fair, bro, because your family watches this, mine doesn't. They'll probably still vote for me. Let's be honest.
They won't. You think one of my family knows how to leave a comment on YouTube,
yeah,
bro?
You're right. I'll be like, I don't know.
Anyway, my topic for today, I did the Rebel Moon movies. I kind of read some of the stats on them and like the reception for them, and it is not good. And the movies are not good. So let's see here.
Rebel Moon, otherwise Star Wars.
Yeah, let's see here. So I took some screenshots for him here. So, did I get any reviews? Oh, I didn't. Okay. So, Rebel Moon Part 1 got a 21% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's critic reviews.
You said it wasn't that bad, though, right?
It wasn't like a truly terrible movie, but like it was not good.
Just generic sci-fi.
You could just tell that like one of two things happened, and that's either Zack Snyder just wanted to remake what Star Wars is and did a really bad job, or Netflix made Zack Snyder try to remake Star Wars and he didn't really want to do that.
Dude, he's gonna do the Snyder cut Rebel Moon, bro.
So here's an interesting little tidbit for you. So he wrote the script for Rebel Moon Part 1 and 2, and apparently it was like a lot more graphic, really heavy, like a dark film. He takes it to Netflix. They're like, there's no way we can make this. They're like, we can't do this. So he's like, okay, how about I rewrite it to fit like a wider demographic, but after I release those, I get to release mine.
Oh, so he is releasing his?
Yes. So he's releasing rated R versions that are supposedly the original script.
I bet it's still not going to be good. It's still not going to be good.
I guarantee you they're going to just be longer, bad versions of this movie.
Yeah. Isn't that what he did with the Justice League or whatever? Or Batman vs. Superman?
Yeah.
And it was like barely anything added or whatever?
Listen, dude, he's made some good movies. Like 300 is awesome. Watchmen is awesome. Like, he made some like zombie movies like Army of the Dead or whatever. Like, that's Zack Snyder. That's a good movie.
Let's look at his filmography real quick. Dude, he just does like...
But yeah, so...
Dude, he made Sucker Punch. Do you remember that movie?
That's a good movie. I like that movie.
He made Dude, he made the Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Oh, hell
you know
yes,
that?
dude. Let's go.
That's crazy.
Okay, so audience score was 57. Critic score was 21%
Jeez.
for the first movie. Second movie, audience score was 50%. What do you think the critic score was?
I'm looking at it right now, so I can't say. I'll let you say it.
It was 15%.
He's cooked,
Damn, bro. Okay, let's read some reviews. Read some reviews here. I will start with part 2. It's called The Scar Giver for some reason.
The Scar Giver.
Yeah. I'm going to do audience reviews first because I feel like those are probably more...
Yeah. Those
Okay.
are better.
This is a complaint I've heard so much about these movies. This one is Brian D. says, didn't care for the shallow plot, poor acting, and slow-mo in every action scene.
That's what he's known for, though.
Is slow-mo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's like slow-mo over-the-top fighting.
I watched this video. Some guy like timed how much time you would save if there was no slow-mo, and it was like over 15 minutes. So that is a ton.
Bro just has them like slow-mo talking. They're like...
Yeah, seriously. Goes to show no matter how much money you throw at a movie, it can still suck. I can't believe they blew the cash for a second movie. Thank God I could fast forward through these ridiculous speeches and get on with my life. Even worse than the first part, if that was even possible.
Wait, a war crime against writing, cinematography, and editing.
Holy.
Everyone involved with this, what is that? Farcical? I don't know. On both sides of the camera.
It's probably farcical.
Ought to have insisted to have been credited as Alan Smithy. That's crazy.
Man, dude. Okay, so here's a good review. 5 stars. I don't understand the hate for this movie. If anything, it was way better than part 1. The slow motion was done better. The story and the plot.
Right, wait, pause. That's how you know a movie's bad, is if the pro was, the slow motion was good.
The slow motion was done better. The story and plot was less confusing. It didn't feel rushed. The action sequences were done better, and overall, it was entertaining. I will definitely be waiting for the director's cuts. Okay, this one's long. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
From Lane C. It's a sequel that tells the same story as the first movie. I started it out, but just couldn't waste the time once the unalived bad guy from part 1, spoilers, from part 1 was resurrected to fight the hero again. At that point, I just fast-forwarded through 85% of the useless dialogue and watched the battle at the end. I'd give it 0 stars, except for the Royal Family Guardian robot that basically makes the battle scene worth watching. That gives it a half star. Wow.
Terrible move. Maybe silly is a better word. Part 1 was even slightly better than this one. Very predictable plot and bad acting all around. It's probably the only... Oh, wait. What is it? Digimon Hansu?
No, I think it's Digimon
Digimon.
Hanzo, who played Titus, is probably the only one who can act.
I kept looking to see how much longer the movie had until it was over.
Okay,
Yikes.
so that is the second one, which I've actually heard got truly worse reception, truly bad.
Dude, I
So
remember
here's-
seeing the trailers and everyone was like, dude, this is going to be so sick.
Yeah, I watched the trailer with a couple of friends of mine at work who are really into movies, and I told them then, I'm like, this movie's going to be bad. Okay, part 1. First review. Who knew Zaki could create such garbage? Okay. Here's kind of a middle of the road review. I think this is actually a pretty fair review of the movie, just overall. Great visual presentation, terrible story. A lot of the universe makes 0 sense, fantasy, sci-fi, or not.
Dang.
I think that's pretty fair. Visually, super stunning. Action wasn't done too bad, but the story is just incoherent.
Dude, this guy rated it good, and he said, inadmittably watchable trash. The kind of high gloss nothingness that doesn't matter unless you really want it to, and he gave it a positive rating.
Damn. Half star. This is the worst movie of Zach I've ever seen.
That's
Slow
rough.
motion and good visuals do not make up for terrible story and plot.
That is rough, dude.
Yeah.
And the second one is pretty
Wow.
much just a complete copy of the first, right? Because they just
According to the reviews, it is. Here's a good one. 5 stars. I totally disagree with the bad reviews. Did it have some holes in the characters? Yes.
okay.
But was it
Why are you giving it 5 if you're admitting it had holes? 5 is supposed to be perfect.
a perfect movie,
Yeah.
a masterpiece, right?
Yeah, at least drop it by one.
Yes, but was it a badass movie to watch? Hell yes. Visually stunning, and the action was
guarantee
awesome.
this guy watches WWE, bro. I guarantee it.
Visually stunning, and the action was awesome. I love the cultural nods to various ancient cultures. I love the analog mechanics mixed with the technology. Overall, 100% worth watching. Wow.
It's crazy.
Okay, yeah. So, just
Don't watch
those.
it.
So, also the budget for those movies was enormous.
Like a few $100 million, right?
Like, I'm pretty sure it was.
Was it
big.
was it one of those where they recorded the movie all at once and then released it? Or was it like
I think they shot both of them and then released the first part, waited and so Rebel Moon Part 1 had a budget of $166 million,
Jeez.
okay? Part 2 had a budget of also $166 million.
that might be both of them?
The two movies were shot back to back in 152 days on a total budget of $166 million. So for both movies.
So $80 million each. That's really not like super bad.
That's actually kind of a small budget for a AAA film. But despite that, like, I definitely can see all the criticisms they're talking about, but I can also see some of the positives.
Where it's like
Visually, it is a stunning movie.
like you just turn your brain off and watch it. It's one of those movies.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I think some of the stuff is just so glaring and like makes so little sense that it's hard to be like, yeah, no, it's whatever. But it is such a visually stunning movie. It is unique in its own way. Like, it takes inspiration clearly, but
Star Wars.
Zack Snyder tries his best to make it like his own spin.
Look, I didn't know this. Trivia. Zack Snyder first conceived this as a Star Wars movie and pitched it to Lucasfilm shortly after it was bought by Disney in 2012.
Oh wow.
So it was originally made as a Star Wars like movie.
Thank God they actually, you know what?
Could have been better.
You know what though? These movies, I guarantee you, are better than the sequel trilogy.
Like original sequel trilogy or the one that just came out? Like
The one that just came out with like Rey and all them.
like-
These movies are for sure better than those.
dang. I mean, those movies are pretty bad, but
Those movies are awful. Yeah.
I didn't think what was the first one? The Force Awakens? I didn't think that was that bad.
I mean, it was basically a remake of Episode 4.
Yeah, it was.
So like, you already had the whole thing you needed right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I digress. You want to do some topic ball?
Yeah.
We're running pretty long, so
We
we'll do like one each. All right, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I could go first. This is kind of in the same vein as we did, or as a question we did last
Okay.
week. Is love a decision or natural? I think it's a little bit of both. I think it starts natural.
I was gonna say, I think at
Starts
first
natural.
it's natural with like the infatuation, but then eventually it's like that. It has to be a choice you make.
Yeah.
And yeah, we did kind of get into that last time, and we are in agreement.
Yeah.
I don't think you can feel like just feelings enough love for someone to like
last forever?
last your whole life.
Yeah. No way. I mean, not like trying to be inconsiderate.
You're like,
but
no way, impossible.
It will never happen. Never happen.
Okay, mine. If you had to eat 30 pieces of something, what would you eat?
Probably Reese's Pieces.
I was gonna say cereal,
Maybe like
chicken nuggets.
Dorito. You could eat 30?
If I was hungry enough,
I could probably eat 30. I've eaten 20.
together we could eat 30 for
Dude,
sure.
Together we could probably eat. Do you think we could eat 100?
I don't know.
Do you think in this span of episode we could eat 100? Should we try and do that, bro?
That would be hard.
And
How
whatever
about
we
the
don't
guest,
eat, we
for the guest episode, we'll do that.
100. Well, that's only 33 each, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That I could.
What do you mean that's only 33 each? You were just talking about how you maybe couldn't eat 30.
I could eat 30, bro. I was trying to give myself a little bit.
Also,
of...
the guests we're bringing on will probably only eat like 10 and be done. So,
All right, I'll hold you to that.
I need to message him again. I also have a really good idea for an episode soon.
Like with
I have
him?
a couple good ideas. No, with
okay.
us. I was gonna do it this time. But
I
we're
also
running
have a good.
Yeah, I was gonna do it this time, but we're running kind of long. So
There we are.
But cool, man. You got anything else?
That's it, bro.
All right, take us out.
All right, y'all. It's been Same Vein Podcast episode 28. We
Or
are
9.
Dude, watch it be 9. I'm gonna have to
29.
I'm like 20. Yeah, 29. Thanks for watching. Give us a like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. Follow us on our other social medias. We're on like pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll be back next week.
All right. See you guys then.
Peace.